Hello! Now, last episode kind of petered out with a multitude of failings. This episode we shall not. This will be an episode of action, a bold, daring do. And the first thing we should do is exactly what we promised to do, which is to fix the problem at Cowley, which is all of these vehicles mounting up. So, I think we could start just by having a new train. Let's have a look at these. What are they? Oh, hoovers. The hoovers are getting everywhere. So let's replace those hoovers. Now we should also have a look at what wagons we've got, because if we can get these on some nice, still only salmons, so BDA bolsters actually, these 70 miles per hour, so we can replace the hoovers with something. It doesn't need to be that fast. There you go 70. So skips would be way over excessive, so yes, class 66s. I don't think we could do that, so let's start replacing those with class 66s. Let's send this for service. Let's hope that doesn't cause utter, total chaos. Dear. Utter and total chaos feels like it is paying us a visit, doesn't it? Come on, you. Go to the right. No, I'm not going to just wait for this to go to a depot, because that does not feel like action. So, bold action is we're just going to build brand new vehicles. And so vehicles for carrying vehicles. We said we would do class 66, I think. Yes, class 66. So we shall build that, and then we shall build BDA bolsters, and we're going to try to get this out to the full length of this. So this is actually 7, yes, so we can go to the full length here. 7, we can make it carry vehicles. And then we can share the orders with this. We should check that Mountain Ash Heights actually allows us to do that. So let's go to Mountain Ash Heights. That's my name. Let's find it in the middle. Mountain Ash Heights. How tall is this? It is... Ooh, that's only got 6 station elements, so let's extend that station a little. With my SR. Ooh, let's see. The heavy freight station. Where's the low freight station, actually? Not a fruit loading station. That's quite the opposite of what we want. Oh, there we go. So that... we'll be loading up vehicles. Oh, that's interesting. BDA... Oh, are you doing this? Are you doing this nonsense? No. Oh, no. It's because I built it in a depot that was far too close. So that's just going to have to kind of go around there. But let's build some sort of, I guess, a kind of escape route so that they can come back round here. There we go. So that's filling for Oxford Load. And can it get to Oxford Load? Yes, it can. Little slow around there. So it's loads of 50 or so. But there we go. That should now be loading up with vehicles. But you'd also do something exciting with this. So these go to Cowley Bridge. Now, one of these airports, I felt it had a vehicle distributor quite near it. So let's go have a look for our airports. Desires. No, don't need that yet. There we go. That's carrying lots of... So there's still lots of Cortinas. 2005, and yes, we're still building Cortinas. Just immensely popular. Now, that said, that there were places. Let's just find our transport infrastructure, because I want to find an airport which has a vehicle distributor near it. This one have we have a lot of money. We could just build this. We could just fund a vehicle distributor, and that will help Langley Green to grow. So. Oh yes, we can fund this as well. So let's build one here. So this will totally accept vehicles once that is available. So let's just pop a viewport here. Oh, we should go back to Cowley. You should take some vehicles by plane. And then if those questions. So anyway, story time. The 777s from 340s. 747s are obviously going to be the optimum, aren't they? So how many vehicles can a 747 carry? 130 tons. Yes, that'll do. So that will go to Cowley and then Langley Green. So full load at Cowley, and they go to Langley Green. Yes, while I group these up, there are in various markets. So car manufacturers used their vehicles. And some of them, they made them last longer by selling them in other markets. So you'll find sort of things in like sort of Argentina and in China, weird things like sort of Volkswagen Santanas from the early 80s continued to be made up until the sort of mid 2000s. And VW sort of thought, well, we can get some good mileage out of these. These are indeed engineering supplies, so this can go in there. And that needs to go there. So these can now start. I think these are going to carry vehicles. So those will help to get the vehicles. Yes, so that's pretty much sorted. That's going to go. Rating is going to go back up. That's going to be good. So more action. And the next thing that needed action, I think that kind of petered out a little bit, was Elmer's Even Better Express, which is kind of here. That's going to spend most of its time waiting around. There's a few stations that it goes to. So it goes to West Elmer's End, Highway 61, a collection, and Dillon West, and then back again. So I'm thinking that if we go here, and this is Dillon West, and then we have a collection, and then we go to West Elmer's End, I think we could bypass all of this. I think that would be suitably action-oriented if we bypass all of this. So I need to build that up a little bit. This is going to get another new sort of platform on here. So let's see that they're not too unhappy with me. Yes, I can build some more platforms. Good. The solar panels are available. Let's have the solar panel station. So it's also going to be quite long. Flat land required, I guess. That's the reason. Station 2 spread out. So I can't build it that long. Can I get a 6x2? No, it had to be a 5x2. So I think... And now, that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? But let's get rid of the Dillon West thing here. So we can build this across here. So, in fact, yes, let's see if we can build this. Motive Garden is having problems, but yes, let's build that across there. And then the passenger there and that there. So this will probably go to mess up all the timetabling and things like that, but and let's just make sure that road can go across there. So that, because we're going to pull this back across. We're going to demolish some houses and wreck some things, and then what I'm actually going to do is try and get my 7x2 station in there. Ooh, perfect. It's a little bit unnatural, those huge amounts of solar panels, so we're going to break those up a bit, I think. Let's get that correct. So let's get that both sides. There we go. Oh, that's nice. So some billboards here. And maybe some covered footbridges, and then some ramps. Yes, ramps will do there. Right, station built. So this is now just going to... not going to go up there. This is now just going to bypass everything. Oops. Double oops. Not doing very well with this levelling, am I? Should hire the levelers. Okay, so that's going to go there. Now, we need to get to collection, which is down here. So, now interestingly, I think we could go the opposite direction. So I think what we could do is actually raise that up a little bit. Let's go up there. And this is going to be driven by sort of powerful expressions, so it doesn't matter too much of it. Now the tunnel entrances are there, so we can just wiggle that around there, which is perfectly fine, by the way. You wiggle like that, it doesn't cause any problems. So let's see if we can get, yes, tubeless door bridge there. There we go. Because there's no second change of direction. So the kind of the curve logic for OpenTTD says you will slow down if you have two changes of direction, but two of the same change of direction. So because this doesn't have a change in the direction, we get away with it. So this is good. So let's bring these across here. Try not to demolish too many trees, and I think maybe bring it across to here. I wonder whether I should actually be. I might do this with overhead catenary. Just there we go. Yes, let's do that. Make sure that's got power across it, because that will give us access to some nice sort of high-speed trains, which the modern high-speed trains all tend to be sort of overhead AC in Timberwolf. So let's bring that across there. Let's make this. Is this going to be a horrible cutting? No, that feels like quite a nice cutting actually. So that feels quite prototypical. They have those wires in there. Oh yeah, we're paying some fairly hefty dividends these days, aren't we? This is a good company to invest in. So, I mean, it's a transport company which has been going sort of hundreds of years. So obviously there's a certain amount of stability in there. Now, let us see, because what I want to do is make sure that, okay, that's actually going up 50 meters. So there we go. And lots more of these tubular steel bridges. And I can just actually, let's flatten that a bit. So that's getting a little bit excessive across there. So we'll put that in a cutting again. And so I didn't mention it at the start. I'm not sure. I'm losing track already. I always lose track of everything that's going on. The aim here with this sort of thing that we're building, this should probably go down a little bit across here, I think. Let's see how it goes. So that's kind of an elevated line across there. That sort of embankment. There we go. So that goes down a couple of bits. That might slow down a little coming up there. Who knows? So we're going to keep going across here. Oh, there we go. So keep going. So we do need to come down a little bit as we go through here. So yes, let's let that drop a bit. And across we come. Across we go. And there we go. So let's keep these moving. Something maybe like that. So that's probably fairly decent, I think. And so make sure that's in the right place. So we're now coming down to from past Lindy's Farm Woods. So we're just going to go a little bit up there, and then try to approach a collection from the top as they build this sort of bypass. And this is really going to be a huge change in the Elmer's Express. So rather than sharing its tracks with all of the other things, it's now going to be able to have its own dedicated track. Let's bring it over here. So this is where I'm going to bridge this. No. There, so let's a little bridge in there. There we go. And then you sort of bring it into a collection. Then we have a little. Actually, no, we don't need that. Oh, that's not needed at all, because a collection is just going to be some sort of a straight through station. So let's build some ramps. Build some platforms. So 5x2. Ooh. Oh, because that's why. So I want to build a 5x2 there. That there, and that there. And put a couple of little things on. So maybe some of these solar panel shelters. Maybe a billboard or two here. Maybe a planter, I think. That'll look okay. And, I don't know, maybe an underpass here. Pop a couple of underpasses in. Okay, so that's all relatively good. So that now can go over here. Now, where was the other place that the Elmer's Express goes? Let's just remind ourselves, make sure we're not going to take it somewhere that shouldn't go. So Elmer's Even Better Express. Let's pop that there. So that's not what I want. What I want is it goes to a collection, then it goes to West Elmer's End, of course, which is West Elmer's End is here. So we can actually build the station here. So let's get the buffer stops in. This is the terminal station. The terminal station. So there's rather, well, terminal, doesn't it? As if sort of about death and destruction. There's a sort of the Wreckless Eric's follow-up to the final taxi. The terminal station. I don't know why I'm telling you that. The odds that someone watching this is actually aware of who Wreckless Eric is, they are minimal. They're even more minimal than sort of the 80s cartoons and things that I normally go on about, which at least, there's some commonality of reference there that you kind of feel. Yes, people have probably at least seen them, but yes, Wreckless Eric was a guess I suppose you'd call him a punk. So it was certainly part of that sort of group. Had signed on Stiff Records, who produced sort of numerous LPs in the late 70s, and but just kind of kept going. For many years, is sort of still active. Well, he's still active today. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't checked that out, but I think he was still recording. Someone will probably correct me. I'll probably find that I've stumbled across one of those really unexpected audience intersections, and that people who are very keen on Transport Tycoon are also very, very au fait with sort of the late 70s, early 80s punk and new wave. So that's a good question to you. Is it considered new wave rather than punk? Who knows? Well, obviously the audience, because as I say, I discovered the weird intersection that players of OpenTTD are also part of the Wreckless Eric fan club. But anyway, as we build this up here, the relevance to that, for those of you who are not fully paid up members of the Wreckless Eric fan club, is that he had a record. I'm not sure which album it's off, actually, called the Final Taxi, which is basically a reference in itself to the fact that the final taxi is, of course, a hearse. That is your last taxi ride, unless something goes horribly wrong at you have a funeral, which is basically administrative mix-up. This is what I should ask for, isn't it? I should state that in my will, that in honour of my long-running 1815 start series, that my funeral should just be an administrative mix-up. Sort of like a kind of play that goes wrong of funerals. Might not be respectful. Anyway, this is all taken a very morbid turn, hasn't it? I blame terminus stations. They're inherently morbid. So let us build some bridges, some tubeless steel bridges. Tubes are non-morbid. Yeah, now I'm thinking tubular coffins. I can't escape death. This is the goth episode. As in GOTH, not GOFF, which would be possibly a nickname for Chris Goffey, the the former Top Gear presenter. Timberwolf, finish this line. You're free associating dangerously. It's not good for anyone or anything. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to close off that bay. It's just a nice little line side there. Some sort of seawall, some sort of doorlish plus. Okay. built the railway line. This is now going to be the sort of the express line. So I now need to just signal that up. And it crosses over a few times, doesn't it? And there we go. So that's signalled there, that's signalled there. No, I don't really do not want to do that. So that's signalled down to there. And then we should just go to the West Elmer's end. Yes, that should be signalled. So build a couple of depots here. So build a depot there, and then a depot at the other end. And I need some way for trains to cross over onto this, which might invite some sort of total disaster. So I'm not entirely sure whether I want this or not. So this is the Elmer's Express. So what we could do, we could create a Pathfinder trap, or we could say it's 2006, and maybe it is time for all the HSTs to sort of no longer ply the lines. So let's do that. Let's get rid of Elmer's Even Better Express. So I'm going to send these to the depot, and I'm going to clone. I can't. Oh no, I can still build HSTs. And yes, this is a Timberwolfian thing, isn't it? That you are able to build things for basically as long as they ran on the real network. But let's have a look. So what have we got? We could do Pendolinos, and those carry quite a lot, don't they? So let's do that. Let's build a Pendolino. So they're only length 5.3, which is not that much, but they go 140. They're fairly good. I think they have the tilting train flag as well, so I think let's have a lot of those. That might be too many. So I'm going to clear the times on those. And I also need to get rid of all the waypoints, because these don't have access to the waypoints anymore. So that will do a job there. And there we go. So that's clear the time here. Clear the time here. Clear the time here. And clear the time here. I can send all of these going there. Oh, again, the West Elmer's End. Oh, yes, of course, because they're... Let's see if I can get one of them to go to Dillon West, or two or three of them to go to Dillon West, and that would help a lot with just general problems. Just general problems. And then if I make one of them to do the collection stop as well, that should get those to balance out quite nicely. But off they go. Look at those. Those look quite nice, don't they? They're sort of the long carriages looping around. The partial turn sprites in Timberwolf, they work well for the smaller vehicles, but there's a certain limit above which it's just like, no, that's not going to work for you. So anyway, that is our episode of Action. Action and Morbidity. Well, they're kind of... I mean, if you consider actions in the sort of hold my beer sense of action, then there's definitely a good correlation between actions and morbidity. But let us not dwell too much on it. Let's instead play a Wreckless Eric song other than the final taxi, and other than... Oh gosh, there's another one, isn't there? Oh yes, the Consolation Prize. That's a song that's worth checking out. There's some grim old lyrics in that. But no. Imagine just walking on the surface of the moon. There you go. Oh no, you'll die if you did that without a spacesuit. So search through your favourite streaming service or local vinyl cupboard or whatever other repository of Wreckless Eric records you have, and play. There's what is the name of his Joe Meek tribute? And oh no, that ends badly. The whole story of Joe Meek ends awfully. Oh no, all of Wreckless Eric's songs are sad. That's the whole wide world. There we go. Play Whole Wide World. It's also quite well known, so you might actually have heard it. And do that, and lay yourself out and think of happy, jolly, enjoyable things. and I shall see you in a future episode.